How's it going, everybody? I'm out here at Fort Mill Golf Club. I've played 11 holes so far, and it has been terrible, quite honestly. So I just hung back from my group. I'm gonna start playing alone, and I'm gonna do a little video for y'all and explain why you are playing bad golf. This is a perfect opportunity, I think, to do so, and it's because I'm not thinking. The number one reason you don't play good golf is because you don't think. Thinking about where your miss is, where you would want to be if you have a bad swing, just focusing on every shot and taking your time, realizing that you have to do that to play good golf. The best golfers in the world have a plan. They know 15 different yardages, not just the yardage to the pin. So as amateur golfers, doing even half of that will elevate our game beyond some of our wildest dreams. So the first hole we got here is number 12 at Fort Mill Golf Club. It is a par 5, 545 yards, dogleg left. It is a true 3-shot par 5 from what the guys in the pro shop say. So this first ball, I'm gonna have to put a good drive on it. It's a really tight hole, but a good drive should put me in good position to lay up and then be on the green in 3 and hopefully putt well. Putting has been my biggest mishap today. Tee to green, I've been all right, but I'm gonna walk you through every shot, explain to you what I think and how I think that can improve your game if you go through the same steps, even when you're playing bad. We're hitting the reset button and we're gonna play under par the next 3 holes. All right, so this hole, very narrow, like I said. I've been missing it out to the right just a little bit with my driver today. Had a really good drive on the last hole. Just gonna focus on that full rotation. I know I gotta hit a straight ball here. Left or right is gonna end me up in the trees. So a full rotation through the ball, and I should be in perfect position no matter where it is on the fairway. So I'm gonna pick my line. I imagine a line going this way as well as a parallel line right at my feet. I have the ball line as well as where my feet are aimed as an imaginary line in my head. This one, I'm gonna try to aim right over that white tee marker, allow for that little bit of fade, and I should be good to go. All right, so I still did lose that ball a little bit to the right. Got a little bit lucky. It grazed the trees on its way down, but landed on that downslope on the right side of the fairway and fed back in a little bit. So aiming right down the left side over that white tee marker ended up working out really well for me. All right, this is where my ball ended up. Dog leg to the left. I'm gonna try to lay up just into this area over there. You can kind of see the 150 marker. Trying to get it up towards there a little bit. Wasn't a great shot off the tee, really wasn't, but my management of where I wanted my miss to be, as well as knowing my miss, allowed me to be in play here. If I had aimed straight down the center of the fairway, I'd likely be up in those trees and out of play. But instead, I'm just off the fairway. Not a great lie, but completely doable when I'm playing this hole as a 3-shot par 5. So probably gonna lay up, probably close to 200 yards, gonna do some measurements here and figure out where I need to put it. All right, so I think about 180 yards is gonna put me where I wanna be. I'm actually gonna use a 4-iron to do that. Like I said, this lie is just not great. So I'm gonna kinda have to go after it. I'm gonna aim down the right side of the fairway. Because of my lie, I'm expecting to go to the left a little bit, and we should be good to go. All right, so again, a 4-iron. Just gonna try to play it smart, lay up, and realize that this ball could get a little squirrely out of my lie. So just gonna put a nice, easy, good swing on it. So I'd say that's just about the best I could have done out of there. Landed exactly where I wanted it to, funneled down to the center of the fairway. Should have a great wedge look into the green. All right, this is where our ball ended up. Like I said, just about the middle of the fairway. It is on a little bit of a slanted lie, but it looks like the way this fairway is set up, it would be hard pressed to find an area without a slanted lie. We have 115 yards to the pin. The pin looks like it's playing a little bit in the front, so I'm thinking long is better than short. Obviously, if we're short, we're gonna end up rolling back down that hill. There's also a bunker short right. So I'm actually gonna go right at the pin here. If it fades off a little bit, which is what I play, it will. And I should just be in the center of the green, which is just fine. I'm gonna take a pitching wedge. A gap wedge would have no problem getting me there, but I'm just gonna take a nice, easy, like 3/4 swing with the pitching wedge, and I'd feel pretty comfortable with that getting close. So let's make it happen. All right, so once again, 115 left, probably playing closer to 120. Nice, easy pitching wedge. Let's get one close. All right, so that's a little bit frustrating. I caught that one fat. Felt like it was a really solid swing, just caught it fat, and I did end up short. So didn't plan for that, but luckily it didn't come all the way down. We should be able to get up and down to save par. So once again, this came up well short, just over there. I'm gonna use a 60 degree, try to actually play this pretty high. The green slopes back down that way, so I don't wanna risk creating a high number with the ball rolling back down. So 60 degree, would rather be a little bit long than a little bit short, but hopefully put it close and give myself an easy putt. Looks like I actually almost landed that one in the hole. It rolled about 5 feet by, but like I said, long was better than short. If I was 5 feet short, I'd be right back to where I started. So I got a good look at par. Hopefully should be a straight putt, a little bit downhill. So yeah, all in all, a decent recovery from a bad wedge shot. Oh man, that was a really touchy putt, a really tough lip out. But we're one over, bogey, just because of a bad wedge shot. My drive and my recovery shot there were great, just like I liked. That putt, I put a good stroke on it, and it just didn't turn the inch more I needed it to. So that happens. We're one over, bogey on a par 5 always hurts, but we got good chances to recover coming up next. All right, here's a look at the next. It is a par 4, pretty straight away, slight dog leg to the right. Pretty open drive, shouldn't have a problem hitting the fairway here, hopefully. But I'm just gonna aim down the left side, play for that fade, and I should have a good look at the green. The hole's only 330 yards, so really I don't even need to hit driver here, but I'm feeling confident with it. I'm not worried about getting too squirrely. So let's put a good swing on it. One thing I am doing is teeing up just a little bit lower because I don't have to hit this all too far. Just gonna have a nice controlled, easy swing, still focusing on that full rotation through. Great swing there. Might have actually bounded through the fairway a little bit, so that could have been a lapse in my planning. But really good swing. I executed how I planned to, and as long as you're doing that, you can't be too upset. That's another thing I think about really thinking through your golf shots. When you hit a shot exactly how you want to, and you just planned wrong, it allows you to know better for the next time, instead of thinking, oh, maybe I pulled that, maybe I pushed that. No, you aimed right there. That's where you wanted to hit it, and you just should have planned better. You should have had more knowledge about the course or something like that. And being able to think through that process allows you to plan better and play better golf. So you're still going to make bogeys. I made a bogey on that last one, but I know exactly why. It's because I hit a bad wedge shot. Everything else went almost exactly how I planned it. So I can't be too frustrated about that. So let's go find our ball, and hopefully we're in good position and we'll be able to make par. So really happy with where my ball ended up. No complaints. I am in the rough, but the lie doesn't look to be too difficult, especially when I'm hitting a wedge. Should have a nice like 54 degree into the green, half swing, something like that. And this is where I came from. This is where it ended up. Might have to take relief from this Not too sure. Actually, probably be fine. But yeah, all in all, exactly how I planned. Would have liked to be in the fairway, but I executed how I planned, so I can't be mad about it. So about 60 yards left into the green. There is a ridge right in front of the pin. That might cause a couple issues. We're just gonna try to get it up there, maybe land it a bit short, have it check right next to the hole. That's the ideal plan. Let's put a good swing on it. Whew. So that kind of jumped out of the rough on me. I pulled it a little bit left, and then it had no spin on it, released to the back of the green. But I should have a putt there, and should be able to 2-putt for par. So yeah, this hole is actually positioned on a ridge. It's not as bad as I thought it was from where I was. Probably could have played it a little bit better. I did actually roll off the green into some rough. So I'm gonna play a little bump and run with my gap wedge. A little frustrated, but I did want to be longer than shorter, and it just didn't check out of that rough. So we got a little bump and run. I feel like I can get this up and down. Shouldn't be too bad. So I landed that exactly where I wanted it to. This ridge actually came into play. My ball almost stopped right next to the hole. I then rolled about 5 feet by. But I executed that chip how I wanted to, landed where I wanted it to. It just rolled out, and I didn't plan well enough. So let's sink this putt and save our par. There we go. All right, so a little bit more stress you would want there with a par. But pretty much everything I did went pretty close to how I planned it. So not mad about that, and par rarely hurts anybody. So let's get to this next hole, try to make a birdie, and be even through 3. We take that. All right, this is gonna be the last hole of this little 3-hole. This is why you're playing bad golf. It is about a 400-yard dog leg to the right, par 4. It is going over some water there, but shouldn't really be in play beyond an intimidating tee shot. I'm gonna aim straight away. Driver should be a go, and no matter where I land, I shouldn't have too long into the green. But coming off a par on the last, would love to make birdie to make up for that bogey on the first hole. But just make sure you're really thinking through it. I know my miss is to the right. I know the water shouldn't be in play, so I can push that out of my mind. The only other thing distracting me is these geese sitting right there. So just got to get that out of my head, focus on putting a good swing on it, and focus on my rotation, my one swing thought. And I have no doubt I can make birdie on this hole. Let's make it happen. I picked my aiming point. It's going to be that gap in the trees right there. If it fades off to the right a little bit, it'll fade towards the hole, and we'll be just fine. So let's focus on that rotation, put a good swing on it. So not my best effort there, hit it well off the toe, but all I did was leave myself a long shot into the green. I'm not in any trouble, and that's always the goal. Better to not be in trouble and have a long shot than be in trouble. We'll take it. So really not even in that bad a shape off the tee. I got about 145 yards left. Should just be a good 9-iron. The only issue is we are in the rough. We rolled about 2 yards through the fairway. The ball's gonna be a little bit below my feet, so just gotta make sure that I stay down through it. Don't top it or anything crazy like that. Again, it just drew off the tee instead of fading, but I knew that I had the space, so we're not in any trouble, and there should just be a green light at the green. There's bunkers short right, but I'm hoping those really won't be in play. The green's pretty wide open to the left and to the right. The only issue is these trees right here, but with a 9-iron, we should be able to clear those. Those aren't really in my thoughts either. So like I said, it's a green light. I'm gonna go after this one. I'm aiming just left of the pin. That way, you know, ball's a little bit below my feet, might fade to the right. I also play a little bit of a fade, so that's accounting for that. And we should be good to go. So I'm going to step out of that one. I'm going to leave in all of my swing thoughts there, because standing over the ball, I felt like it was much more below my feet than I was planning for. So I'm actually going to take an 8-iron. I'm going to play a less than full 8-iron, but have that little bit of extra length to hopefully prevent me from over swinging and creating a bad shot for myself when I could have just thought it through and changed. So that's what I'm doing. Got that 8-iron here now. I'm going to play it about 3/4 and just make sure that I put a good swing on it. Don't create anything crazy for myself. So again, this is where I ended up. Not too bad for the shot that I had. Just, I think, overcompensated on that shot. I did hit another and ended up on the right side of the green, so not too frustrated about that. It's good to hit another when you have the time. You're not holding anybody up. Gives you the experience to know what you did wrong. With this shot here, I'm going to use a 60-degree, try to have it release just a little bit to the hole, and try to save par. I certainly do not have my best stuff today. There's no lie about that. But to finish 1 over through 3, even 2 over, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for me. I'm trying to make a few swing changes, so a couple things are out of whack, and I played horrible on the front. I shot 9 over. I'm a 5 handicap, so I just shouldn't be doing that. But to really battle through these holes, to think through every shot and execute most of them how I want to, is still a win. The score may not be where I want it to, but I can walk away satisfied because I know that I played how I wanted to. And if you guys are thinking through your shots, really focusing on what your miss is going to be, what kind of danger you have around, you can still walk away feeling like you succeeded a little bit, even if your score isn't exactly where you want it to be. And I think that's something really important to be able to enjoy golf all the time. Another thing that helps with enjoying golf is having beautiful views like this. I mean, just a beautiful day out. We got some geese grazing over there, and a tough little chip. Let's make it happen. So this is definitely much more of a touchy shot than one that I should be shooting. But having a general knowledge of the yardage, I think at least always helps me plan for my shot. So I want to land it about 30 yards and have it release, 2 to 3 yards. I'm going club head to about shoulder, follow through to about shoulder, and that should be just perfect for me, or at least I hope so. Oh my gosh. Let's go see how close that is. That spin to the right was awesome. Oh, I hope the camera caught that. Woo. All right, guys. Look at this. So it was a perfect shoulder-to-shoulder swing, just like I wanted. And landed probably right about here and spun right to there. I mean, you cannot do much better than that. Let's tap this on in. There we go. So that is in for par, quite the adventurous par. I wouldn't say any of those shots besides my chip was anything to write home about. My drive wasn't how I wanted to hit it, but it was an okay position. My 8-iron out of the rough was a terrible shot, but it worked out and rolled down to the fairway. And I was able to execute a good chip, and we got in for par. I'm super happy about that. And I think that just goes to show, thinking through every shot, focusing on where your miss is going to be, exactly what swing you want to have, what hazards you have around you, can really, really elevate your game. I would recommend all of you to do that. I'll leave in the description down below, I'll leave a couple questions that I ask myself before every shot. Like, what is my miss? What are the hazards around me? What have I been having issues with today? Just all sorts of stuff like that, 5 to 10 questions that once you start asking yourself those every single shot, it's going to be second nature. You're not even going to be able to recall the questions because you're just planning. And then golf just becomes a whole lot of planning, and hopefully you can succeed. So I thought we almost had a walk-off chip there. I'm not super used to my 60-degree. Don't hit it all too often, but that shot was fantastic. A great way to end it for sure. If you want to see more content like this, more thought process golf, or other tips to improve your game, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. And let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments below. Let me know where you think I can improve, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.